p.m. on MSNBC. And joining me now is the host of Make It Plain on Sirius XM, Mark Thompson. And Mark, my friend, happy Easter, first of all, to you. Thank you for being here.
Happy Easter morning, Joy, and happy Passover to you and your entire team. Thank you for having me.
Indeed, absolutely. We're in the midst of all of these discussions about the more we're learning about the Alton Sterling killing, the more disturbing it is, the Stephon Clark killing, where he's shot 8 times, at least 7 times in the back. When you think about where we are still in issues of police brutality, et cetera, is it, I don't know, is it depressing to think about the fact that, 50 years ago we lost Dr. King also to, obviously, gun violence, and that we seem to have gone backwards in a lot of ways in the cycle?
It certainly is. It's even somewhat mournful to be here in Memphis, his cavalry. As a matter of fact, I see really a direct parallel, because law enforcement actually had at least an indirect role in Dr. King's death. While the police did not kill him, they withdrew his security detail the night before he was assassinated. He was harassed by the top law enforcement official in the country, J. Edgar Hoover, for many, many years. And I'll never forget, in 1993, the Commercial Appeal here in Memphis did an incredible expose where they talked about how he and his family had been under surveillance for many, many years by U.S. Army intelligence. He died during this same Easter season here in Memphis 50 years ago. That's why we're all here. And so today we think about 2 people, 2 men who amazed people with their preaching before the age of 16, 2 men who fought on behalf of oppressed people, 2 men who spoke against wars and rumors of wars, 2 men who were pursued, persecuted by the authorities, 2 men who predicted their own deaths, and 2 men who were executed before the age of 40, Jesus Christ himself and Dr. King. And it's important that we realize that while we celebrate the life of Jesus and his resurrection, the tomb being empty, we've got to declare Dr. King's tomb empty too, his resurrection as spirit, in what we do as organizers and activists and journalists even, and continue to fight the fight that he started.
Yeah, I mean, ironically, there was a death of a teenager that occurred in the march before Dr. King came back to Memphis, when those sanitation workers were striking. It was a young guy named Larry Payne, kind of lost to history, but a teenager killed ostensibly by police, allegedly, while they were looking at people breaking windows during that march. So a lot of ironies here. I want to play a little bit of Dr. King's only grandchild. Her name is Yolanda King, 9 years old, and this was Yolanda, little Yolanda, speaking at the March for Our Lives rally last weekend.
My name is Yolanda Renee King, granddaughter of Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King. My grandfather had a dream that his 4 little children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream that enough is enough.
So, Mark, what a mantle that little girl has on her shoulders. She's the only grandchild of Dr. King.
It is a mantle, but knowing her, she's precious. I'm very, very proud of her and her parents, Martin III and Andrea. I think she's got it. I don't think she's intimidated by it at all, and I think that she's going to be something. 50 years ago, the poverty rate in America was 13%. It's 12.7% today. That's a battle that we still need to fight. Just here in Memphis alone, the poverty rate for African Americans is 4 times what it is for whites. Around the country, for every dollar of wealth whites have, African Americans only have a dime. So there's a lot more that we need to stand up for. And as I said, we need to resurrect the memory of Dr. King, support the Poor People's Campaign, register to vote, and continue to keep his memory alive.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, my friend Mark Thompson. Safe travels there in Memphis. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy.
All right, more AM Joy after the break.